on the channel, we continue our Jakks Class Superstars unboxings and reviews with Jakks Class Superstars Series 9, Nature Boy, Ric Flair, Legion of Doom Hawk, and Bam Bam Bigelow.
The spirit of the warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Jakks Class Superstars unboxing and review. And today, from Series 9, we got the Nature Boy Ric Flair, we got Road Warrior Hawk, and we've got Bam Bam Bigelow. But remember, for all your modern day Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figure needs, to hit up Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle to save yourself 10%. And normally I'd say we're going to do this review like we always do on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, talk about it, unbox it, talk about it, see where it goes from there. Well, this is a little different as I have all three of these in my loose collection already, so we won't have to unbox these, but we'll take a look at the packaging. Then we'll take a picture or take a look at the loose version. So without further ado, let's start it off with our brother in paint, of course, Road Warrior LOD member Hawk. And what a cool figure this is, and we're going to talk about it with my utter disgust about this. You've heard it before, you're going to hear it again, so sit down, grab yourself a drink. There is old Hawk in the package there. Now, Series 9 was the first of the WrestleMania ticket promotion figures. As we all know, you had to save your tickets, save your UPCs, all that fun stuff, and you got to mail away for a mystery figure. And we were all saying, what is this mystery figure? Unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, it was a very good figure. It was a Hulk Hogan 2-in-1 figure. Spoiler alert after all these years, but we'll dive into that. We'll talk about that a little bit more on the channel as we go along. But we got Hawk right there looking good, the WrestleMania ticket. He's got that patented gray steel chair. Always got to throw a chair in there. And then Hawk himself. Hawk, I believe it says Road Warrior Hawk, which is technically correct, and I believe this is AWA Gear Animal and Hawk, or I should just say Hawk, unfortunately. I keep forgetting about that. See what it says on the side. We've got Hawk, Road Warrior Hawk. Of course, this is Hawk in his AWA gear back in the day. Beautiful glamour shot on the side. I like how it fills out the border. They started to make that picture, that little glamour shot, a little bit bigger to fill out the whole page there, because before it was a little small sometimes, I always thought. And on the back, you got the huge cross cell. As we know, these series started getting bigger and bigger. We got the blurb, we got the glamour shot up top of Hawk, we got the cross cell, we got the UPCs, got the warnings, then you got the explanation of the big ticket promotion. Quite the event there. So let's read all about this, see what's going on with old Road Warrior Hawk. Debuted 1983, 277 pounds, 6'3". In height, finishing move, the Doomsday Device. Titles: WWE Tag Team Champion, NWA Tag Team Champion, AWA Tag Team Champion, and of course, his favorite quote, "Oh, what a rush." Oh, well, you can hear it in my brain to this day. You had to collect 22 different WrestleMania tickets and send these in with the UPC, your proof of purchase, of course, and you would get a figure down the line. So, an interesting idea with that ticket promotion. I don't know. It's very tough. Consumers, as we know, do not do a lot of couponing. Coupons a big thing, but guess why there's so many coupons? Because the redemption rates historically are around 7%. Obviously, with the world as it is right now, coupon uptake has went a little bit higher. It's about 9% right now for people that are redeeming coupons. These things like this are very, very difficult because people forget, and you have to collect over multiple series. People lose their things, they forget, they miss one, they misplace something, they forget to send them in. It's a very, very hard promotion to really dive into, and I think this wasn't as good as they hoped it would be. There's never been studies or commentary from Jakks about how well the redemption rate went, but my business gut says it did not go very well. Hence why the Ringside Hogan, or the Hogan mail-away figure, ended up going to Ringside Collectibles for sale back in the day, because they had a lot more figures produced than people mailed away for. And it's just a business 101. You want to make it as easy as you can for the customer. And if you read this whole backing here, it is very complicated. And especially if you got kids collecting this, it's just not going to happen. You throw away things. It's just a mess is what it really is. So I could see the redemption rates not being very high on this Hulk Hogan, and hence why it ended up going to Ringside Collectibles. And through the power of YouTube, we'll put Hawk off to the side, of course, and we'll grab the loose version and talk a little bit about this Hawk. Now, beautiful, beautiful body-styled Hawk figure here, albeit a bit plain Jane. Just black tights, black boots, black wrist tape, forearm tape. And that's about it. Outside of the head, it's just basically a very plain body. But boy, does it ever work. You get the dog collar around his neck with a little metal hook going on there. Very minimalistic LOD Road Warriors face paint. As we know, historically they had elaborate designs, really, really cool, colorful designs. This is bad news, Road Warriors. This is butt-kicking early Road Warriors is what this Hawk is. He's got the black face paint with the yellow line through. Now, you guys know, I'm not a big fan of tongue-out action figures. The Matt Cardona Super 7, the recent Macho Man NWO Mattel Elite. I'm just not a fan of tongue-out action figures, but you know what? Something about Hawk with the LOD, I have no problems with this one. This looks awesome. It just reminds me of Hawk sitting up on that second rope, putting his arms out, saying, what a rush, putting his tongue out. I mean, that is iconic to me, and it looks really good here. Something about it with the face paint, too. It just goes together. Of course, Hawk's got his patented reverse mohawk going on. Just an absolute fabulous-looking figure here. No knee pads, no elbow pads, nothing else. No other accessories with Hawk. A little bit plain Jane. He does got his goatee, so he does have that going for him, but a fabulous, fabulous figure. One of the best Road Warrior figures of all time, Legion of Doom figures of all time. Now, the big travesty is, in this very set, Series 9, we did get Animal, and they did not match Animal. They gave him an LOD 2000, which most would say is probably the worst rendition of the LOD. So you go to one of the best to one of the worst, and it is probably the all-time biggest sin from Jakks Class Superstars, not giving us a matching tag team partner in Animal for Hawk. I would have loved to have this version of LOD on my shelves. I hope someday Mattel and the Road Warrior legacy family members, whatever you want to call it, after all these years, can really mend the fences, because we are owed a tremendous amount of Legion of Doom Road Warriors figures. There's so many looks, so many that we would love to see. And if Mattel can't do it, can Jazzwares do it? Can Storm Collectibles do it? Can somebody do it? Can somebody do it for Kyle? Does Kyle have to start his own action figure company and get it done? Because I will. I'll find some sculptors. I'll figure it out. We might have to do that. I don't know. That's probably a long shot, but beautiful, beautiful. I just wish we had a matching partner, which really brings this one down a little bit for me since it doesn't have his partner. So there you go. But there is Hawk right there. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful figure. Now let's turn our attention to the old nature boy, Ric Flair, hot off his last match. If you Patreon viewers are watching this, it was just fairly recently. YouTubers, traditional YouTubers, this is old news by now about Ric Flair in his last match. But I'm all for Ric Flair's last match. He struggled for sure, but he went out on his own. He said it wasn't about the money. I'm going to believe it wasn't about the money. I just loved that Rick went there. And who's to say he can't do that? Like I always said, it's his life. He can do it. If he wants to die in the ring, man, let the guy die in the ring. As long as he's not hurting anybody else, I'm all there for it. But the Nature Boy Ric Flair is depicted here in his first NWA title robe. Of course, he did beat Harley Race at Starrcade for this title belt. Beautiful, beautiful robe. A little bit different version of Ric Flair than we historically got in the Classic Superstars. We usually got a little later versions of Flair. This is a bit of an earlier take on the Nature Boy here. And a fabulous, fabulous one. They always did a good job with these robes. This robe does drive me nuts, and I do have a loose one here we're going to talk about in a second, as I feel like I get glitter bombed every time I touch it. Glitter goes all over the place. Once again, it is part of the WrestleMania ticket promotion for the Hulk Hogan figure. And then you got the title belt off to the side. Of course, got to have the NWA title. And you got the Nature Boy in the package. On the side, you got Ric Flair. I should mention Series 9, right up here at the top. They did label that in green, which was really nice. As the line went on, you got a little different color. You got numbered. It was really nice when you looked right on figures. You knew what set they would belong to. There's the old Nature Boy on the side there. And on the back, we got the blurb, we got the tail of the tape, we got the cross-sell. We'll be unboxing all these on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. UPC's warnings, then the Hogan ticket promotion stuff. On the back, Ric Flair debuted 1972, 243 pounds, 6'1". Finishing move, of course, the old figure 4 leg lock. Titles, WWE Champion, WWE World Tag Team Champion, WCW Champion, WWE Intercontinental Champion, WWE Royal Rumble winner. Favorite quotes? Woo! To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down. That's my personal favorite. But Rick looking really good here. Really did like this figure. Still like it after all these years, actually. And we got him right here. We got the title belt. Once again, very, very hard to read. Very tough and difficult. As usual, I do prefer the Deluxe Classic belts over these Jakks Class Superstars belts. But it is a belt. It's nice to have a belt with Ric Flair, as we all know. Then we get the Nature Boy looking only like he could look. and a beautiful robe. The robe is the one that steals the show with this one. Nice cape on the back that would make Lando Calrissian blush for sure. Beautiful Ric Flair on the back. Very cool blue. Different black and silver graphics throughout. Looking really, really nice. You do get his blue boots. You do get his blue trunks with the RF on the trunks, RF on the side of the boots down below. He's got his patented wooing face going on, blonde hair. He does got a fist in case Harley gets really out of line. You got to step in there. It does Velcro this jacket, of course, this robe. It just Velcros in. And you're kind of by the books Ric Flair figure underneath. No knee pads, no elbow pads, nothing like that. No other accessories, just a robe. But of course, this robe is a phenomenal robe, especially back in the day. Looks good all these years later and definitely costs some money to make in real life and in figure life. And now I got glitter all over my table. Oh, gotta love that. But this Ric Flair is one you got to have. It's one of, this might be the earliest interpretation of Ric Flair we've ever had in action figures. I'm thinking off the top of my head right now, I think that is. I'd love to have a throwback one of these days of an old school Ric Flair back when he was like 300 and some pounds. Give us that Ric Flair when he was trying to be rambling Ricky Rhodes way back in the day, trying to hitch his wagon to Dusty and Dick Murdoch. But very, very cool Ric Flair. Like I said, a very awesome moment in time Ric Flair as well. And definitely warrants a spot in the Jakks Classic Superstars line. And we got it here in Classic Superstars Series 9. Now we turn our attention to the Beast from the East. Possibly, arguably, the greatest big man in the history of wrestling. He did things much like Vader at an earlier age than the big men of today, and there's not really that many big men today. And that's one of the things that's really missing from wrestling. You don't got some of these giant monsters like we used to have. And you guys know old Kyle loves a monster like he loves a hairy bipedal creature. I'm all in on any more monster figures, monster-sized wrestling figures, I should say. Bam Bam Bigelow fit the bill. He didn't wear face paint, but man, he didn't need to. He had the skull tattooed all over his head. Quite the look back then, quite the look right now. That's a guy that's committed to his craft is what we're going to say right there. But Bam Bam Bigelow looking awesome, and we're getting a lot of Bam Bam Bigelows from Mattel as of recently. I would love to get his gear from the night he took on Lawrence Taylor. I have to think that is coming down the line fairly soon. But Bam Bam a little bit plain Jane here. No accessories. We do get the WrestleMania ticket. But it is good. I like the body style they used for Bam Bam. I felt like this one worked. We have seen in the past, of course, the super heavyweight torso used a little bit too much on some guys. I'm glad they didn't go down that road with Bam Bam Bigelow. There he is on the side. And there he is on the side. Remember when Paul Heyman used to say, Scott Charles, Bam Bam Bigelow? It felt so much more official or something. Scott Charles, Bam Bam Bigelow. He used to say that. Made him just seem like even more of a monster when you said that. I don't know why. That was just me, I guess. UPC's warnings, cross-sell, of course, unboxing all these. Bam Bam Glamour Shot. We got the tail of the tape off to the side, the old blurb. And we're off to the races. Let's see what it says about Bam Bam Bigelow here. Debuted 1985, 325 pounds, 6'3". Finishing move, the old greeting from Asbury Park, Kamikaze Headbutt. Titles, ECW Champion and WCW Tag Team Champion. Phenomenal. I was very hyped up to get this one back in the day. Of course, got Bam Bam right here. Bam Bam really stole my heart in ECW and even WCW. I enjoyed him as a kid in the WWF. He was around a little bit, then he went to WCW. He was a little bit of a journeyman for a little bit, couldn't kind of find his place. But ECW was made for Bam Bam Bigelow. I'll never forget him throwing Spike Dudley over the top rope into the audience. Getting that on pay-per-view as a teenager just changing my life. It really changed my life and changed my thoughts on Bam Bam Bigelow forever as well. But very cool, and I do display this one, or did, I should say, with my Ruthless Aggression ECW shelf. I have some of the ECW originals all displayed together, and I always put this Bam Bam over there, because it worked for me. But just a fabulous figure here. Of course, you get the flame outfit that we always get on Bam Bam Bigelow. Always looking good. Like I said, they didn't use the super heavyweight body mold, which I'm very thankful for. It's kind of a middle-of-the-road one. That really did work for Bam Bam Bigelow, I felt. Articulation-wide, of course, the head moves. You do get the bicep cut. You do get the single-jointed elbows. You do get the hands side to side, up and down as well. You do get the waist cut. You do get the legs up a little bit. Back, not very much. You do get a single-jointed knee, and then you get the ankles up and down. So not tons of articulation. All these guys have the exact same articulation as we know. I do love the flames on his head. In my mind, his whole head is covered with flames. But I'm going to guess that this is correct here. It's not as flamed out as I thought it was. But it's funny what your childhood memories of. Just like, oh, it's all flames, all flames. And he definitely has some flames here, but it's not totally covered, especially on the back. I love the attention to detail here. He's missing his tooth. Very, very cool. It looks like Bam Bam Bigelow all day long. You give me this head, you know it is. With the tattoos, the beard, the missing tooth, all day long you know who this is. We also get his beautiful tattoo work on both arms. Nice attention to detail there. And even the white laces on the boots really does make this figure pop as a whole. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal Bam Bam Bigelow. A must-have in any Jakks Ruthless Aggression or Classic Superstars collection, if you ask me. So there it is. There's Hawk. There's Bam Bam. There's the Nature Boy Ric Flair from Series 9. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of these three. Tell me I am right, that this is one of the biggest travesties in all of wrestling figure history, not to get a matching animal of this. It still keeps me up at night all these years later. But let me know your thoughts on these three figures. Of course, like this video, you made it this far. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. You don't want to miss a video, and we'll be back here every single Tuesday with a new Classic Superstars unboxing. If you're a Patreon member, you're way ahead of the game for sure on the Jakks Classic videos. We got tons and tons there for you guys to check out right now if you are so inclined. Of course, follow along on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com as well. Support the channel, pick up a t-shirt. So for Ric Flair, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Road Warrior Hawk, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.